Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, which is a true name of the Heavenly Father, in the name of His Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, in the ancient Hebrew. Double honor to my elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. Honors and blessings to you brothers teaching the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in true faith and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, and as always, peace and mercy to the elect of Israel. My name is Yawanathan. And I'm going to get into a quick lesson here, Lord willing, to feed and edify the hopeful elect of Israel. All right. Pretty much just dealing with this article here, because I found this article very informative, dealing with mainly the headline. And I didn't watch the video, but, I read bits and pieces of this article. But just from the headline alone, you can see that, America is the valley of the shadow of death, man. America is that Babylon the Great that the Bible speaks of, the virgin daughter of Babylon. It says just last month, 53 Americans died in mass shootings, while 40,000 died from obesity. All right. So there's always a way to die here in America, man. That's why, again, the scriptures call this place, the valley of the shadow of death. A valley is a low land between two either mountains or hills. And that's what America is. Symbolically, it's a low land. All right. For your mind, for your spirit. Morally, this place is completely degenerate, man. It's completely degenerated. They letting people just do whatever the hell they want to do. All right. Under the guise of democracy and freedom. Just do as thou wilt. That's a Luciferian, or that's the satanic Aleister Crowley doctrine. All right, do as thou wilt. If you do as thou wilt, this is what it leads to, man. Sin, wickedness, overindulgence. There's always something going on here in America, man, that's not happening in other parts of the world, man. You got the most obese people over here in Babylon the Great, and I wonder why that is, man. Besides the GMO foods that get produced here, besides the crappy, fast foods and all of that, the restaurants on every corner, Kennedy Fried Chicken, liquor stores, it's because these people that dwell here in Babylon, they pretty much under that spell of that doctrine, man. Do as thou wilt, do whatever the hell you want to do. All right, and that is Babylon. That's confusion, because the word Babylon in the Hebrew goes back to Babal, which means confusion. All right, and that's what you got here, man. Just great utter confusion. So I'm gonna read some of this article here. It says, in his fascinating book on natural causes, forensic pathologist Dr. Richard Shepard observes how over the years the dead bodies he examines have changed. One of the most noticeable is a rapid increase in body fat. He says, unless a patient is homeless or has died of cancer or is so old or poor they could not eat, few are the same shape as the dead of the 1980s when I started practicing. So this dude been in the business, all right, for over 30 years, or going on 40 years, 30 to 40 years, however long, he was, because it doesn't give an exact year, it just says in the 80s. But he's saying he rarely sees that anymore, man. People, when he examines these dead bodies, he's rarely seeing the same causes of death that he's seen in the 80s. All right, and that's not that long ago, man. It says, looking back at forensic photos from that era, I am astonished at how thinness was then the norm. All right. It says, fast forward just 3 decades and obesity levels are now rising at such a rate that one expert says the time bomb has exploded for our health services. Consequently, the NHS is reportedly bracing itself for soaring levels of cancer, type 2 diabetes, and heart and liver disease. And that is true, man. They're not even bracing for it. It already happened, man. Look at the numbers. Look at the statistics. There is already higher levels of obesity, diabetes, heart attack, heart disease, and things like that, obesity here in America. All right, and why? Because the scriptures say that, I'm going to just go to there real quick, because I was holding Isaiah 47, but I'm going to read that too, Lord willing. But let's just go to Revelation real quick. All right. To show you that this is Babylon the Great, man. This is Revelation chapter 18. And I'm going to get right to the point. Verse 7. It says, how much have she glorified herself? It's talking about Babylon here. Because when you read the 17th chapter, it was described John, the revelator, the prophet, the apostle John, seen Babylon, seen America as a woman. All right. In a vision, he seen her as a woman. All right. With a scarlet dress on, which sat upon a beast, which the beast is talking about NATO and the EU, the dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns. This is basically dealing with the last kingdom to rule on the planet Earth as a world power, as world dominant power, before Yahweh Shai comes back. That's what this is dealing with. So, that's why it's referring to this Babylon the Great as a she. Salakia, give me 1 second, brothers. I gotta take care of something real quick. Just give me 2 seconds, Salakia, brothers. Just bear with me. We gotta get right back to it. Yeah, Salaki, I'm back. So I'm going to read where I left off. Revelation 18:7. It says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. So it's telling you here that America, or Babylon the Great, which is America, have been glorified in herself. Meaning what? This place was once the glory of kingdoms. This place was once the place to be. The staple of the whole earth, so to speak, of what every other kingdom, wanted to become. Man, they used to call this place, it was a city paved with gold and things like that. But it says now, and she lived deliciously. Yeah, that's really one of the points that I wanted to bring out. The delicacies, that's what living deliciously means. They came with all this, these philosophies and these different ways of living, that pretty much made it seem like people in America was living great. Like nobody else was in the world was living like them. The picket fence and the apple pies and things like that. The dog in the yard and basically the American dream. That was basically the image of living deliciously. But now it's saying so much torment and sorrow give her. So now, because America had done these things, which, first and foremost, how did America become great as it is, or as it was, because it's not great anymore. That's why Donald Trump even has his little slogan, to make America great again, because it's not great anymore. But how did it become great? It became great through enslaving the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, and stealing the land, West Indians and Haitians, the southern kingdom of Israel, and also stealing the land from Gad and Reuben, the American and Seminole Indians, so-called. That's how this place became what it was, in the plantations, the slave plantations, the cotton picking and the railroads and all of that. So now it's time that, the scriptures say that if you defile the land with blood, if you build a city upon iniquity and blood, that basically had to be recompensed back onto you. So now this place is going to go down by blood and death, man. and you're already seeing it. You know, these American people, these so-called Americans, going back to this article, you know, 53 Americans died in mass shooting in just 1 month, and 40,000 people died from obesity in 1 month. All right, so the Most High is clearly, you know, cursing these people. It's a curse to be obese and die from that. That's a curse, man. That's a way how the Most High, you know, sanction you to be put to death. For you to be so overweight that you just die, whether it be by heart attack or whatever it is. You know, you don't exercise, you don't get no type of physical activity. All you do is just eat all fucking day. You know, but that's basically the snare that the Most High set for these Babylonians. Because here it is, they think they living, you know, they living it up. You know, I can just eat and do whatever I want. You know, this is America. But then in the same breath, you know, that's going to be your downfall. You know, that's your downfall. That's you. That's how the Most High gave you over to death. And that's a horrible way to die, man. That's a horrible way to live. You know, to be that overweight like that, to where, you know, you can die any minute. You know, but that's what this place pushes. And then they have the whole fat shaming thing where you can't talk about fat people. You can't call them fat. It makes them feel bad. But it is what it is, man. And really, if somebody's fat shaming you, that's really love. All right? Because they're getting on you like, yo, man, lose some fucking weight before you die. That's unhealthy. But here in America, you know, hate speech, they turn evil good and good evil. You know, rebuking someone and telling somebody the right way, that's hate speech. But letting them just go along with their life and then until they die, you know, that's love somehow here in America. You know, this place is backwards, man. Again, this is Babylon the Great. So let me read on. It says, therefore shall her plagues, Revelation 18:8. Oh, no, I didn't finish 7, excuse me. It says, for so much torment and sorrow give her, for she hath saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So that's the pride of Americans. You know, they think they're never going to be taken down. But here it is. They had this video called Plan A on YouTube that simulated a nuclear war between Russia, NATO, and America. All right. And they said within a few hours, you would have 34 million people dead, which I predict, you know, through the spirit that the numbers will be way greater than that. Because we about to read verse 8, all right, and it's going to pretty much go into it. Matter of fact, it's verse 10. I'm going to read 8 and 10, all right, because it goes into that, man. In 1 hour, this place is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles in World War III. And you have over 300 million people here in America, all right? So it's going to be way greater. The casualties is going to be way greater than 34 million or 90 million, whatever the number it was that they predicted. You know, it's going to be way greater than that because only the elect Israel is going to be saved out of this place when it gets hit with the missiles. And then you got the other nations that's going to get hit with missiles too, where people are going to die. And of course, you're going to have elect members, brothers and sisters, elect families pretty much getting saved as well. You know, but the numbers are going to be up, I believe, through the spirit in the billions, man. You got 7 billion people on this earth. All right. This nuclear war that's coming is going to be the war to end all wars, man. It's going to stop everything. And all this madness that's going on in the earth is going to put an end to all of this shit, man. To Esau's rulership, the so-called white man. Because that's another thing you got to understand. Who is ruling this Babylon that we're reading about here? Who's the one that's pushing these vibrations? Verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord who judgeth her. So in one day, these things are going to come upon America, man. No more eating, no more fast food, no more fucking child support and EBT and none of that. All right, that's mainly for our people, you know, that pretty much are fully into this world, into this way of life. You know, no more, none of that. All of that's going to get cut off in one day, man, by famine, martial law. All right, pestilence, when they, you know, let forth these different diseases like Ebola and Zika and all of that and whatever else they fucking got that we don't know about. You know, all of that, man, the race wars. This place is going to come to a complete halt, man. All right, and it already is. Economically, it's slowing down. We basically in a recession, man. All right, these people are still eating up, man. They still living their heart's desire. And we right here in the beginning stages of a recession, which is basically going into a depression. You know, that's just showing you how stupid and how blinded these people are by their indulgence, whatever, I can't pronounce that word right now. But they pretty much following after the flesh so much that they can't even, see what's truly going on right before them, and the politics and things like that. It's basically a big bread and circus, like in the ancient Roman Empire. All right, as long as these people got cheap food and entertainment, they don't really care. They don't really have no, awareness of what's going on. They just want to eat. They just worried about food and when's a new episode of The Power, or whatever that show is, the Empire, Power, whatever people are watching now. That's all they worried about. The new video game that's coming out, the new Call of Duty, whatever, But that's the downfall of this place, man. That's your same, what you lived for, so to speak, like what America stood for. And you know how they try to portray this place as the best place on earth. Like, you could come here because, look, you can do this, but that's going to be the same reason why this place get destroyed. All right, it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her. Because it's not only in America. You got China, they living deliciously with America. Those are some goddamn Moabites. All right, and look how they living. They living better than us, than the Israelites, than most other nations as well, man. You see a lot of the Israelite nations, mainly the South America, the Latin kingdoms, the Latin tribes, they're living like shit, man. They call them third world countries. But you see Russia, China, Sweden, Australia, all these other heathen empires or nations, so to speak, whatever you want to call it, they're living great right alongside with America. So these nations have committed fornication with this place, Babylon the Great, but they're going to lament for her when they see America getting destroyed, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. See, in 1 hour, this place is going to be judged by the missiles, man. All right, and all these fat motherfuckers, all these proud-ass women, all these faggots and lesbians, these flaggots, these damn homosexuals and transgenders, they all going to die in that lake of fire, man, which is a second death. They're all going to burn in that nuclear destruction, all right, for their wickedness, for them living deliciously, committing fornication, which is spiritual adultery against the Most High, idolatry, basically, worshiping of other gods. That's big here in America, man. You could worship whatever the hell you want here in America, Babylon the Great. But that's not going to be no more, all right? It said all flesh is going to come to worship Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in Isaiah the 66th chapter. Now, let me get one more scripture here. Isaiah 47:1. Matter of fact, I'm just going to get straight to the point for the sake of time. Verse 3, because this is a prophecy dealing with what? The virgin daughter of Babylon, all right, being destroyed, being taken down. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And that was one of the main points that I wanted to bring out, because it says that nakedness shall be uncovered. And your nakedness is talking about what? Your shame, the history, the true history of America, what this place is really about, how the central bankers pretty much own this place, man. How the money system is faulty, is a fiat currency that's pretty much destroyed already, is going into a great economic collapse. The $22 trillion of debt that can never be repaid. This is the shame of America. This is the nakedness of America, the slavery, the history about slavery. The amount of disease and filth that's over here. Because like it said in Revelation 17, this bitch that's sitting upon the beast, this whore, she has a cup in her hand filled with all manner of abomination and filth. All right, and she give it to everybody to drink. So now you got the highest rate of STDs here in America, the highest rate of cancer, any disease you could think of known to man. It's here in America, man. It's here in Babylon the Great. So that's all being uncovered. This place is being fully exposed for what it really is, man. It's not a place to be desired that you want to live here, man. If you in your country, stay in your fucking country, man. I don't care if people's eating out the garbage can over there or eating chicken bones or whatever for dinner, man. You come over here, it's just nothing but death and destruction. You might get hit by a random dude driving on the fucking sidewalk, or anything could happen, man. You got that dude that just drove his car into the Trump Towers over here in New York City, in New Rochelle. All right, he just drove his vehicle right through, man. They didn't give a fuck, man. You got people that hop on a sidewalk and just run 40 people over, not caring. You got all type of demonic spirits out here in America, man, and it's being fully exposed by the mouth of the Lord, firstly, which is the prophets, the apostles, the elders, a great millstone. All right, and even their own tongue shall fall upon themselves. Psalm 64 and 8, if I'm not mistaken. You know, so the shame of America is being seen, and Yahweh Shai is about to come back and judge this place, all right, with that fire. All right, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. He's coming with the so-called UFOs to judge this place, man, for all this wickedness, all right, and to put all this evil and wickedness down, all right, and to put America down with that nuclear destruction, because it has to be destroyed, man. This place, if it goes on, you know, people will be dying. It wouldn't be no people left here in America, man. All right, it wouldn't be no people. The disease will overtake, the GMOs will kill more people. It would just be too much, man. All right, so the Lord has to come back and save us, man. Lord willing, we be of the elect. So I hope and pray this lesson was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Rakak Quadash. Double honor to my apostles, the elders, a great millstone. And shalom to the elected.